could, let me echo that. I mean, just watching the photos on Facebook and going to our cemeteries in person a year ago, and why this came up is the society worked with Taylor High School, where they did reenactment and the stories of a number of our settlers. And just this past weekend, I was in Cape Cod for a wedding, and happened to find out that Thomas P. Tip O'Neill was buried 2 miles away. So I went to that cemetery, roughly about the same age as ours. And for the most part in that cemetery, the headstones were covered over in lichen and moss, and at times ours has as well, but with the dedication and just taking pressure off of the clerk's office, in the clerk's office, going back to Dorothy West, tried to do the best that it could do. I don't know of any other time where I've seen the reassembly, the different frames that you've created to not only clean up but fix up, and then also do the historical research. So I know you've got something prepared, but I thought just taking a moment to say thank you, because that's what makes a community a community. You find an interest, something that you're passionate about, and you get involved. We see that with our Little Leagues, see that now with the Taylor Historical Society. I could name a number of different groups, but that's what we need. So please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very proud of them. I'm the chairperson of the Taylor Historical Commission and also the president of the society. The final resting place for many members of Taylor's founding families is within our 3 city-owned cemeteries: Golden Ridge on McKinley Street, aka Taylor Township; Oak Grove Burying Ground on Burr Street, aka Putnam; Oakdale on Telegraph near Pennsylvania, aka Sand Hill. Familiar names such as Cohen, Sutliff, Sell, Wackrow, Shonshek, Pardee, Racco, Lang, Coates, and Sexton can be found in our cemeteries. The Taylor Historical Society has deep respect for Taylor history, especially family history. Through the years, weather, wildlife, human beings, improper care, and many factors have wreaked havoc on the cemeteries. And in early 2021, a few very passionate members, who are all sitting behind me, with a deep respect for the cultural importance of cemeteries, started preliminary work within. By that fall, we had a full-fledged cemetery restoration committee. They researched best practices, attended workshops, and continue learning about cemetery restoration and proper cleaning methods, and share their acquired knowledge with anyone who is interested. They investigate and document family histories, and they research and identify the locations of lost graves. They have spent countless hours fighting the elements, the pests, the lack of funds, but continue to move forward with their efforts. We have held fundraisers to support the various projects. We sell t-shirts, which is everybody has on here, tote bags, and our 2022 house calendar supported the cemetery committee. We held a very successful cemetery walk in 2023, partnering with the Taylor High School drama students, and they are already on us saying, when are we going to do it again? We're not doing it this year, probably next year. We continue to seek funding for the many projects that are yet to be completed. As of October 2024, the Taylor Historical Society Cemetery Committee has located the following through probing. All were buried and not visible, and some which were previously undocumented. So they uncovered 14 footstones, 14 headstones with the bases, 6 headstones only, some partial, 5 bases only, 20 unmarked graves, identified numerous veterans through research, which then we pass on to the Veterans Museum for their records, and they keep meticulous records. On their cleaning and repair spreadsheet, they currently have 170 grave sites listed, with 35 sites requiring simple repair, 63 requiring comprehensive repair, and 72 completed. Work starts early spring as soon as the weather permits and lasts until the fall, again depending on the weather. So the Taylor Historical Commission and Historical Society are extremely proud of our cemetery committee and appreciate the group being recognized for their ongoing work. As anyone is interested in getting involved, pick up a flyer. There's some on the back table back there, and I just passed one out to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would all members of the Taylor Historical Society please stand up, be recognized? One more round of applause. We don't know.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Madam Clerk.
since I have had the distinct pleasure of working with most of the individuals that are here, I hold annual cleanups at the cemeteries, and they are my faithful volunteers. I can count on them every time. One in particular, Tom, years ago when we first started, it would be Gary and I and Tom. We would just, sometimes it would be the three of us, but we would do what we could do and move on. So I am very grateful because it does take a lot of pressure off of me. I am keeper of the records, but when I became clerk, I kind of inherited a mess of records, and then I inherited cemeteries that were not being taken care of. And at that time, the administration kind of, when they would receive complaints, they would throw them to my office, which I would say, there were 2 employees in my office at the time, and I would say, what lawnmower would you like me to go? What would you like me to do? Anyways, we've come a long way, and I owe a lot to this group, and they are doing amazing work out there, and I love seeing their posts on Facebook, and I love all the reports, and yeah, they definitely deserve to be recognized tonight, for sure.
And they're zeroing in on the Golden Ridge right now, but after they're done with that, we'll move on to the other ones.
Councilman Johnson.
So in the past, I've helped Cindy with the cleanups when I can. And a couple of years ago, I got a call from former Councilwoman Pauline Vitor. And we had to meet at Golden Ridge, and it was important. We had to get this done because they were, I don't know, Tom, how many trees did we cut down? How many branches? I mean, we worked and worked. They're amazing. They're just amazing what they do.
Agreed.
And one more thing. When are we getting our fence? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, let me get past November 5th, and I'll put that on my list to get with Guido about, and we'll make sure it gets out to bid.
All right. Keep us posted. And certainly if we need to do an adjustment to the budget or anything else from the council side, please let us know. All right, we have a motion by Councilwoman Witten, supported by Councilman Johnson. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Yes, have motion carried. There will be a merch table out in the atrium. There is merch.
Is there really?
No, there's no merch table out there. All right, Mr. Mayor.
Item 6.5 is a motion to approve the second amended articles of incorporation of the Downriver Utility Wastewater Authority.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Witten, supported by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion?
Chairman,
Councilwoman.
just a couple questions. One, I noticed like the address change from like Taylor to Wyandotte. It looked like they changed the fiscal year.
So
as
through the
well.
chair, when multiple cities, Wayne County used to own the DUA, and then 13 communities, including us, took it over. Basically, we took it over from the county. So we took over basically their charter or rules. So 5 years later now, they're going through and they changed all the different things, mostly addresses. But I'd say the biggest change in there, I think, is on page 12. And basically, that changes what the county used to have to do. If they made changes in there, they had to take it to the commission to make those changes. So the way it is written, they want to change it to where the board, we meet here once a month in these chambers here, all the 13 communities. They want to be able to make that board vote on those changes. Right now, the way it's written, every time there's a change, the board has to vote on it, and then each board member has to take it to their council. That's a little, it takes a long time to do all that. So I'd say that's the biggest change in there. Most of it is just addresses and stuff like that, little stuff. So I'd say that's the biggest change in there that you guys would be making.
Chairman,
Councilman.
just a feedback, and I can't find, I should have made a note, but it looked like the fiscal year changed to like a
That is.
July 1. But it looked like the election of the officers of the board was a January 1, and it just seems odd to me, because normally you would have those in conjunction with your year, if you're setting budgets and such. So just nothing that I think is material for me voting on it, but maybe something to take back to them,
Yeah, I
because it seems unusual. Okay. Why the change from Taylor to Wyandotte? It was,
So they were gonna have the meetings here, but the actual location is in Wyandotte, so they
Okay.
figured that they would make that the actual, Veolia, who runs our DUA plant, is in Wyandotte there. So when they first took it over, because the meetings were held here, they made this the address.
Okay.
Or there was a building, Jason would probably know better than me.
thank you.
Right. I was reading through that page, it does say that it's a 66% of the vote, so just doing the math real quick, you better be in good standing with the mayors of Lincoln Park, Romulus, and Wyandotte.
So through the chair,
Along with
it's
our,
a-
we're the
it's
longest
a scale
one.
vote, so there was quite a few people that weren't here that day, so it all depends on how many people are at
Does
the
it go
meeting that
by
day.
system capacity?
I
So
think
like,
it
does our
goes-
vote
yeah,
for
so like
18?
ours is, yeah, if I'm not at a meeting, it's a pretty big chunk of the
Yeah,
vote.
18.3?
Mhm.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say yes?
Yes.
All those opposed say no. Yes, this have motion carried. Mr. Mayor, do you have any open business?
Yes, just like to cover a couple different things. So the first thing I want to talk about is our Hallapalooza is on the 25th. I think it's filling up fast, so go on to the computer. It's from what I'm not being told now, it is full. So just want to point out that the Masons are going to have up to 2,000 ID kits for kids. So if you're interested while you're there, you can see them. And also, Mr. Chairman, I would like to introduce our new Director of Economic Development is here. His name is Mark Kibbe. He joined us on yesterday. He's from he came from Allen Park. So I'd just like to recognize him, and I'm so happy he joined the team. He's got a great background, and we're very lucky to have him, and we're excited to have him as well.